So it appears we haven't got Mr. Wanowaski here with us this evening, which is a shame. He might be in chat on the stream. I have seen him put in quite a bit of practice this week, which was good to see him back in the saddle, but unfortunately things happened and he couldn't make it. The grid. Is there a destabilising effect on the cars for the swishing petrol tank, or is that a bit too deep? We don't know for sure. The thing is as well, it's like, where's the ballast placed? So when we apply ballast in the game, we think it applies it evenly across the car, whereas when you add more fuel, it does add it to where the fuel tank would be, either in the back or the front of the car, for instance. So yes. So obviously everyone's lined up, but yeah, the grid is very tight. Look, let's run, but look how close they are on the grid here. So as they get away for their formation lap, let us do this, and we can have a look at our starting order. So David Kruger in the AMD Captain Now car in first, with Frozen Joy in second place, Twin Flow in third, with Spook in fourth place in the full one-ton racing team, shall I say. Ricky Tan in the Brum Boys in fifth, followed by Jack in sixth place in the Ferrari. Liam Fraser, Space Racing Team in seventh. The Coolest Guy Mason in eighth place. In ninth place, we have Schmidt with brand new racing pedals, shall I say, in ninth place. Jordan in 10th place, who failed to set a time in qualifying. And at the back of the grid with his penalty is English 52 in the Space Racing Team car. And if I'm honest with you guys, I probably would want to start closer to the back of the grid for this one, because that is a extremely tight grid. And yeah, if you don't get off the grid in time, yeah, you're going to get squashed. You're going to get squashed big time into the couple of turns. So look at these guys. They are all doing a lovely formation lap here at Assen. I have been told strictly from Frozen Druid I'm not allowed to say arson, so he gets really upset with me if I say that. So it's all about the Assen here this evening, as we are just watching these guys warm up their brakes, warm up their tyres, get everything good and set for the start of the grid as we ride at the back of the grid with English and Mr. John. Actually, I need to set our replay buffer here just so we have that perfectly. There we are, back to the grid. So we see David Kruger now going through the final chicane to take up his grid position. They just need to take it very, very steady because it just pops up at the last second. So he is on the start of the grid here. Lovely job from Mr. Kruger, and we're just seeing the guys now file in to the start of the grid. Good job from everyone. It looks like Jack nearly rear-ended the one-ton there. We're just waiting for the final guys, Jordan, and there is English 52 at the back of the grid. So everyone is on the grid. 4 lights on, and it is go, go, go. It gets a really good start, but look at that. Liam Fraser on the outside gets an amazing start here. Goes down the outside. He's going to jump about 3 cars here, I think, as we see David Kruger now leading the pack into the first turn. It looks like Twin Flow is around the outside of Frozen Droid into the first turn. No, Frozen Droid managed to hold the gap here. We see Ricky Tan now pushing up into 4th place, getting ahead of Spook, going around the outside, just a little bit further back. He's going to have the inside to the left here, and he does indeed. He gets the inside run, so that hits Ricky Tan up into P4 here. Whereas Liam Fraser, we see a little bit of an incident at the back there. We see Coolest Guy again a little bit turned around, but as they get through fairly successfully actually. So actually English is now up to P7 from the back of the grid. Great start from him as we ride on board with Ricky Tan into P4, just behind Twin Flow. Frozen Droid on the heels of David Kruger. Kruger gets through. Interesting, they're all alive. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. They are all alive, but there's a big fight going on at the back of the grid here with Schmidt, Jordan, Jack and Coolest Guy. So actually Jack must have got tangled up in that battle. So Jack is now at the back of the grid. Oh, we see a spin there from Liam Fraser. Is that no, it's English 52 spun around. So English gets back underway, so he's down to the back of the grid again. 0 to 0 stuff from him on the first lap. We see now Ricky Tan putting the pressure on Twin Flow as they go round and finish their first lap. 38 minutes to go. What a great start from everyone. And we see now Jack pushing up through on Jordan at the back of the grid. So Jack gets the move done. Now he's chasing down a fast Schmidt. Schmidt runs wide into the first chicane. Jack, look at this, goes round underneath him. He's now going to be on the outside here. As we see a little bit of contact there from Jack and Schmidt as they go into turn one. Jack needs to be brave on the brakes here, but Schmidt's going to come back through the inside. As we see actually Mason also going through on Jordan through turn one. Jack looking like he's doing a great move here, but Jack's going to go up the inside here on Schmidt, but Schmidt's going to have the inside for the next corner. Oh, Jack gets a little bit twitchy. He's going to grab Aski, says, Mr. Start, and you did in fact miss the start, Mr. Aski, unfortunately, my friend. I'm gutted for you. I was just saying it was good to see you put in a lot of practice this week. As we now watching Jack chasing down a fast Schmidt down the back straight. But look, Ricky Tan is hot on the heels of Twin Flow here. We need to change gap to next. We need to have a little interval going. Actually, what we haven't done is had a look. No fatalities, no fatalities. Let's have a look what tyres they are on. All on medium tyres here in the GSMC. So they're all going for the medium strat here, hoping that it will last for the full 40 minutes. You was just about to say what tyres are on. Oh, I'll just step ahead. As we see now, Liam Fraser's back is just ahead of Jack. So Jack has got through of Mason. So where's Schmidt? Schmidt must have made a mistake. Let's throw it over to the tyre types, absolutely. So Schmidt must have made a mistake because Jack got through him on that lap there. And Mason, so best lap time for David Kruger, sets a 38.229 in the race. Indeed, back to the studio for those all-impermanent ballast levels. So it's 60, 50, 40 for the ballast with Spook, Twin Flow and Frozen Droid. But Frozen Droid now is just hanging on to the back of Mr. Kruger. Kruger is now 1.068 seconds ahead. So Kruger is doing a fantastic job. Oh, well, we'll try my luck on the mountain. Absolutely, Aski, you should 100% be here for the mountain because that is going to be a fantastic race. So we're just seeing everyone starting to settle into the race here. A long way to go, still 35 minutes. Nice tight for the first half of the pack, absolutely. We saw this in practice as well. These guys were really, really tight together. What lap are we on? This is lap 2, I believe. Yeah, lap 2 out of however many you get in 40 minutes, basically. So we are just watching. So actually, they're on lap 3, so they're completed 2 laps. So Kruger getting away nicely. We're seeing Ricky Tan just starting to put the pressure on Twin Flow here for P3. Twin Flow is probably doing a little bit of time management as well with the ballast weight that he has on board. Oh, Jordan must have had a moment. Where's Jordan had a moment? He is down at the back of the grid. Yeah, he is a good 14 seconds behind English. English was hero to zero stuff as well. He is on the back of Schmidt as well here as they're going through here. So yeah, English was started in last, got up to like P4 or 5 and then spun it on lap 1 and had to go to the back. Where is English here? So English is hot on the back. Ricky Tan, look at Ricky Tan now really applying the pressure onto the wonton of Twin Flow here. Ricky Tan would love to get past him and then apply that same pressure to Frozen Droid. As I said, this is Frozen Droid's home race, so he is looking to win this one, I think. Put the pressure on the Kruger. He has closed the gap to David Kruger, actually, down to now only 8 tenths. We were at a second, so he's shaved 2 tenths off in that last couple of laps, which is good for him. But yeah, look at Ricky Tan now, just applying loads and loads of pressure to Twin Flow here. But Twin Flow is definitely one that can withhold the pressure from people from behind. He's had it from Spook before and he's not buckled. So yeah, he's looking pretty defensive. He's not actually defending it yet. So Ricky Tan's not yet launched an attack. So Twin Flow hasn't had to defend anything as it stands. But let's actually flick back. Just like Frozen, it's flat and dry. Yeah, absolutely. So let's have a look. So English is all over the back of Schmidt here. Oh, English looking to go up the inside of Schmidt through here. So Schmidt's going to leave him about a car width. But yeah, but Schmidt gets on the power. Schmidt cutting the corner there. massively on the grass with 2 wheels, but he's in track limits, so that is fine. He just needs to stay ahead of the fast English 52 in the Audi. Oh, Schmidt runs really wide. Schmidt spins. Big spin from Schmidt there as he spins all the way across the grass, doesn't hit anything, gets the car collected back up into the chicane here. But yeah, that is Schmidt now down into P10 in the top green racing car. But that was a huge moment. That is going to put some flat spots on those tyres. The tyres are going to be screaming after that. Absolutely, his tyres are going to be absolutely hot. Watch out for that cone. Looks like it's making a want P1 way into P1. Absolutely. Let's have a look. Right, I'm back with this battle here. So Ricky Tan on twin flow, right on board with Mr. Ricky Tan here. As we see, he's just doing enough. But yeah, Ricky Tan's just a little bit more able to place the car where he wants to place the car. But it's still just not enough to launch an attack here at Assen. It is a very, very technical track. Not a lot of places to overtake, really. So you need to start to force him to defend and throw him offline. And I don't know whether Tan has the pace to do that yet. They are all on medium tyres, and the ones in front of Ricky Tan are going to start wearing a little bit harder and a little bit faster than what he is at the moment, just because he has ballast on board, as we've said. So Ricky Tan now fast into the chicane. Oh, right tucked up underneath his gearbox there. Tries to get onto the power early and chase him down into turn 2. But we see now Frozen Droid slowly chipping away at that early lead that Kruger put as well. So Frozen Droid only half a second now behind Mr. Kruger. So this is the real battle that we're focusing on at the moment, which is Ricky Tan and Twinfo for P3 and P4. Spook is just falling away from this battle. He's now at 2 seconds behind these guys. Look at Ricky Tan now, just trying to square up a little bit of the corner to try and get a good run down this straight here. It is Aston versus Aston, but one with ballast, one without. Rich needs to be patient here. Rich does need to be patient, but he just needs to start forcing Twinflo to start thinking about defending a line here. So Rich needs to just push him offline. Needs to start making him make a little mistakes here and there, you know, just to get right onto the back. So Ricky Tan actually runs extremely wide, or cuts a little bit more onto the grass there in Twinflo. Let us see if the Wontons are having a discussion about it.
Maybe it's struggling with the tyres. Close is looking strong. Yeah.
So they're talking about a struggle with the tyres. We are only 10 minutes into the 40-minute race, and they are already talking about struggles with tyres here. So Ricky Tan just needs to keep we hear a little bit of a grunt as they go from. We actually saw Spook running wide there at the back, rather push and wait for the ballast to eat away at the tyres. Absolutely, Ricky Tan, but also he can't wait for too long, because if he's as fast as we think he might be, he could be on the back of Frozen Droid and Kruger, so he could be pushing for P2 or P1. But actually, we're just watching Frozen Droid now, right on, snapping on the heels of the Kruger in the AMD Captain Now livery. But look at this, Frozen Droid now squaring off the corner, going for the undercut. Look at the run he's going to get down the straight here. As we see now, Frozen Droid on the back of Kruger. Kruger's going for the defensive line on the inside. He's thinking about the outside. This is what Ricky Tan needs to do to Twinflo here. Just force him offline. So now he's going to cut back and get a nice run, but actually he doesn't stay to the left. So he just loses a bit of time here to David Kruger. But that is the sort of stuff that Ricky Tan needs to just start doing to Twinflo. Just start making him use the tyres a little bit. But yeah, the top 4 separated by 1.5 seconds, with Spook just behind in P5, Jack way behind, actually 15 seconds behind the leader, 12 seconds behind this battle. We got Fraser 2 seconds behind. English now up into 8th place, with Mason in 9th, Schmidt in 10th, and Jordan down there in 11th place. But yeah, here we have the main race battles here, 1 to 4, separated by not a lot. Let's see if the Wontons can survive this race. We are 10 minutes in and they are already talking about they are struggling on tyre. We've got Ricky Tan hot on Twinflow's tail, not giving up anything here. And we just see the gap just extend a little bit from David Kruger here. So he might have had a little bit of mistake in the previous chicane that allowed Frozen to... Actually, I say that, but look at Frozen. It's so much faster through this first sector than David Kruger is. But Ricky Tan now looking to go down the inside of Twinflow here. Look at these. These are all bunched up. Ricky Tan now going on wide on the exit. But it looked like he just started to make Twinflow think about defending here. As they push through the first sector, 27 minutes to go. This is a tight battle. Spook is struggling, I think, with the ballast at the back here in P5, 3.3 seconds behind the guy in front, which is Ricky Tan. Look at that. Oh, look at this though. Twinflow now hot on the back. So Ricky Tan needs to stay with these guys now. If they all start squabbling amongst themselves, Ricky Tan could fly through this lot and take the lead of the race. But we see it might be Kruger might just be starting to tyre manage a little bit here. Frozen Droid is looking to push on here. Frozen Droid has one speed, and that is 11, flat out to 11. He doesn't do tyre management. He just pushes and pushes and pushes until everything dies. And that is probably a good strength to have here at the moment. It's going to keep David Kruger on his toes as they now head into the chicane. Look at this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, all within the same camera shot. What an amazing view we have here. Looks like Ricky Tan is just falling off the back a little bit, half a second. Frozen Droid going for a fake there down the inside just to see if David Kruger would defend that or not. But look at Frozen Droid, just so much faster through this first sector. Look, gets the car through the inside. Kruger runs wide. But Kruger's going to have the inside for this corner here. He just needs to hold up Frozen Droid on the exit. But look at this Twinflow now. Twinflow, what a poach up the inside. So Twinflow now up into P2. This is going to be a drag race into the first right-hand chicane. Ricky Tan needs to be on the back of this. Neither one of these two cars are going to give up. I think Twinflow's going to have to back out and to go in. Frozen Droid's going to be late on the break. Yeah, Twinflow backs out and allows Frozen Droid through here. Give David Kruger a little bit of respite, and Frozen Droid is probably thinking, oh, wee, thank God I got away with that one. But now Ricky Tan right onto the back of these guys as well. I've got Ken excited in my ear as well. He's very excited for this battle. So we are loving this here at the GSMC. Anyone could win this. 1 to 4 here as we see Spook running wide again on the exit of the curb there. He's just using everything he can to keep up with these guys, and it is not helping. Let us see if the Top Gun Racing team are talking at all. Oh, we're going to get the ASMR breathing. Is what we're going to get here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, is that Ricky Tan going for a dive up the inside of Twinflow? Ricky Tan late on the brakes on Twinflow there, side by side through the chicane here. Who comes off better? Ricky Tan, I think he's going to give back the place to Twinflow here. Is he going to? It looks like he is giving back the place, yeah, because that was a bit of a late braking manoeuvre there from Ricky Tan. But now look who's just behind him. Spook just behind him now, back into the fray. That was very, very close from them. Ricky Tan went for the move, couldn't get the car slowed down enough. But it looks like we've got a English and Liam swap around here. Liam into the barrier hard. Liam into the barrier onto the final chicane. He's not moving. That is Liam Fraser hard into the barrier. That is a worrying sight there into the fast lane. He can't get the car moved. Looks like he might be missing a tyre. It's just, yeah, the car is stationary here. Gets the car, turn around, gets the car. Oh, he spins into the pit lane and he's on his way here. So yeah, that is Liam Fraser here. Twin was the backboard. Absolutely, Twin was the backboard. I'm glad to see Ricky Tan gave the place back though and didn't hold on to that. But that has allowed the guys ahead, Kruger and Frozen Droid, just some breathing space from these guys. And look, Spook now smelling blood, back in on the fight. And we see Fraser in the pit lane here. He must have had a big incident. So let us settle down here. We've got 23 minutes remaining. We've got Kruger in first place, Frozen Droid in second, Twinflow in third, Ricky Tan fourth, Spook in fourth, Jack in fifth place, English 52 in seventh, Coolest Guy Mason in eighth, Schmidt in ninth, Jordan 10th, and Fraser in the pit lane in 11th place. Oh, we see Ricky Tan running wide there for the chicane. That is going to allow Spook here a little run for him down into P1. Ricky Tan is holding the inside line here. Is Spook going to be able to send it around the outside as Ricky Tan used all of his tyres here? Does look like Ricky Tan holds the inside, runs wide, cuts off any exit there for Spook. So Ricky Tan does hold the inside line. Good defending there from Ricky Tan. I think he might be starting to struggle with tyres here. That big lockup might have hurt him pretty severely into the chicane and that battle with Twinflow. That's going to take a good percentage off your tyres for sure. So Ricky Tan now just needs to settle back in, get back onto the gearbox of Twinflow, who's now 1.2 seconds up the road ahead of him. So just that one little move from Ricky Tan has caused the field to just spread out that little bit more. As we just see them now running into the right-hander here in Sector 2. But look, Frozen Droid still on the back of David Kruger here, still not giving an inch. But Kruger is doing a fine job. He's not really putting a foot wrong here. He's defending where he needs to defend. What kind of damage could Twin have taken with that contact? Probably very, very minor bodywork damage on the right-hand side of the car. He might have taken a little bit of wheel damage. But it wouldn't have been a lot, to be fair. It probably, if anything, they were both. It wasn't like a big side-to-side contact. It was kind of a bit rubby down the side. So I think they'll be all right. I think Twin would be okay for sure. So we're just riding on board with Frozen Droid. That stuff shouldn't have any effect beyond cosmetics. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it would. If anything, it might come up with a little bit of blue on one of the corners, but you'd be unlucky if that was the case. But look at this, Spook now smelling blood with Ricky Tan here. He's back in the fight. He's got something to hunt, and Ricky Tan is that prey. Ricky Tan in P4 now, 1.4 seconds behind Twinflow. Dropped another 2/10 from Twinflow. Now Twinflow's not thinking about Ricky Tan here. But Frozen Droid now, the relentlessness still continues on with David Kruger here. Oh, and they are very close. Look at this, he's right underneath the rear wing of Kruger, literally forcing him into the corner here. Spook classic ballistic missile, absolutely. But look at this, is Frozen Droid going to go around the outside? David Kruger needs to shut this down here. Basically just force Frozen Droid off the track. Frozen Droid looking to go around the outside. That is an unbelievable move if you pulled that off. But Kruger is not letting that happen in the AMD Captain Now liveried BMW as he goes through the fast left-hander here. You can see a little bit of smoke coming off the tyres. He's absolutely pushing all his might as they go through the chicane to start another lap. We have 20 minutes to go. Frozen Droid now speeding, looking to go down the outside of David Kruger, but Kruger is not having it, holds inside. But look at this, Frozen Droid gets a switchback, but it doesn't really matter because the final, oh look at that, Frozen Droid gets a little bit of snap off oversteer because he hit the curb pretty hard on the rear of the car here, had to back out of the manoeuvre. What you need to do is you need to launch it down the left here into the braking zone. It's just such a short braking zone there that you're not going to get the move done. Frozen car looks a lot more settled. It did until he hit that that curb. But look, they're coming up to a back marker here of Jordan, who is ahead of him, and it actually looks like Ricky Tan is starting to close back in on Twinflow. He is indeed only 9/10 of a second, so we've got the three Aston Martins closing back up to each other. They are 2 seconds behind this battle here, so what they need is these two to start squabbling as well to bring the whole 5 of them way back in together. But this is incredible stuff from these guys. Very, very difficult. Look at a little bit of oversteer on acceleration then from Kruger, so his rear tyres are probably starting to hurt. He needs to up his traction control a little bit just to stop that and just to protect those rear tyres a little bit. As we see, we've got right on board with Ricky Tan. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to keep on board with these guys, with Mr. Kruger here, as he gets the car through. Look at that. You can see the smoke coming off the rear tyres of Kruger's BMW as he goes through. Do they do dynamic traction control? Absolutely. So you can increase traction control level. You can also increase or decrease the slip angle of the car as well before the traction control kicks in. That is all dynamic on the steering wheel. So if you bounce the buttons, you can adjust the traction control and the ABS within the car as you're driving around. So yeah, as the tyres start to wear, you just increase it a little bit more. Oh, look at this though. David Kruger runs wide. Frozen Joy sticks his nose up the inside, but he's going to be on the outside here. Is he going to go for the cutback? He's looking like the cutback. He gets a good drive there, but look at the BMW. He's just so fast off the corners here. Frozen Droid now having to set up for the left-hand side again. There is no way through there, unfortunately, as they're still encroaching on the back marker here. Kruger gets the car slowed down nicely. Frozen Droid slots in behind. Wow, this is incredible stuff from these guys. Just keeping an eye on behind. Look, Ricky Tan, slow lap from him actually. Now 1.5 seconds behind Twin Flow. So he is struggling a little bit. Dropped a bit of time to Twin Flow there. He was gaining and now he's dropped back a little bit. Pulled back into Spooks a little bit as well. So Spook now 4/10 behind. Oh, it was to see Kruger getting through the Jordan Aston Martin, the Farmer Joe Racing. Nicely done by Jordan there, out of the way. Doesn't hold them up too much, so they are on their way. So Jordan could really have affected that. But look, you can see the rear tyres just smoking of David Kruger's BMW as he goes through that fast left-hander. So I don't know how much more tread is on the rear of those tyres here. Well played, Jordan, absolutely. I think he's just got out of the way for the guys at the back. He has indeed, but look, Spook has got a little bit of a run on Ricky Tan here. Ricky Tan defending for all his might into turn one. Gets the move held, which is nice, but Twin Flow now escapes up the road, now 2 seconds ahead of these guys. Are tyre blowouts possible? Are they? No, I don't believe they're possible, but what happens is the tyre just gets zero grip. So it's like driving on ice. As we see Jordan, heavy contact into the barrier, onto the start straight here. Jordan has stopped on the circuit here. That is a big accident. He has remained stationary. That is it for Jordan, I think. Huge accident onto the exit straight there. That is possibly, is he going to get the car going again? He is getting the car going, so just wait. So Jordan on the way again. He's going to have some big damage here. So that was a big spin and a big contact on the inside. Yeah, exactly. It just becomes like driving on ice, which is fine. So we see Ricky Tan now just holding off Spook, still within the half-a-second window, but now just slowly slipping away from Twin Flow. So Twin Flow has just broken that gap to these guys as they continue on the way. Frozen Droid now half a second. Got another yellow flag in sector 2. Is that Jordan again? That is Jordan again. Into the gravel trap for Jordan. Keeps the car running, gets the car underway, and Jordan is back on the way. He's not having a good time. And we actually see Liam Fraser has retired from the race into P11. So let's carry on riding with this. It's not an easy track for overtakes. That is very true here. Once you get a little bit of nose up one side, it switches back on you and you become the inside, which is quite nice really. It just adds a little bit of spice. We see another spin here, I think, for Jordan. Yellow flag in sector 2. I applaud Jordan. He never gives up. Absolutely never gives up Terabyte, and that is good to see from Mr. Jordan. He's probably going to need a fresh set of booties though. He's back off the circuit again, so it might be time for a pit stop for him. Slap on a set of soft tyres and maybe run a little bit of a faster lap times to the end. So we're just watching Ricky Tan and Spook here. In fact, let's check in on Mr. Jack. So Jack is all on his own. So he is, 15 seconds behind the guys in front and a good 24 seconds in front of P7 here. So Jack is having a bit of a lonely race here, unfortunately for him. The real fight is with these guys at the front of the grid. Ricky Tan just holding off Spook, who can smell blood. Like I said, let's actually listen to the Prom Boys aren't a thing to this start. It's been the KRT racing team. Let's see if anything's saying here. So this will be Ricky Tan and Mason, the coolest guy. Ricky Tan gets the car turned in nicely. Yeah, he's got that chicane down now. Spook is just a little bit faster on the exit here. But look at this, like Twin Flow now pretty close to the back of the first three. Let's see if the wontons are talking. These guys like a bit of tactics. No, absolutely nothing from the wonton team at all. So everyone is just super focused, super tactical here. So we are on board with Spook as he goes down the back straight, staring at the rear wing of the Brumboys 27 car of Ricky Tan. So Ricky Tan now 3.8 seconds behind Twin Flow ahead of him. So he's definitely dropped off the leaders here, but Twin Flow is just slowly catching up. We've got 12 minutes to go here. Not a lot of position changes here. Ricky Tan went for a move on Twin Flow. It didn't quite pay off. I think that has hurt his tyres, possibly heated him a little bit. So he's probably going to have to take some time just to get those back down. Hopefully he can launch an attack soon on Twin Flow. He's going to have to think about it soon. If he's got any pace left, he's going to have to start utilising it very soon here, because Twin Flow is just a little bit ahead now. Can Frozen Droid do anything about David Kruger? That is the next question. So we see Frozen Droid just behind Mr. Kruger here, 9/10 of a second to a second behind as they cross the start-finish line. Losing the pack, yeah, he is definitely losing the pack, is Ricky Tan. We see Jordan finally pitting for some fresh tyres. He needs to keep running though, Jordan, because P10 is a points-paying position. So some valuable points for Farmer Racing Team. As we see Spook now looking up the inside of Ricky Tan through the first sector here, but Ricky Tan's got to get a switch back to the left. And Ricky Tan can hold him on the apex. He does so nicely. Now get the power down on the exit. He does indeed. So but Spook is right there behind him. Spook is looking to push Ricky Tan along. Ricky Tan is sticking to the middle of the track here. He swings back to the left, knows he's got the space. Ricky Tan does a fine defensive job ahead of Spook. Oh, Ricky Tan, look at that little wobble there through the left-hander here. So that is going to tell Spook his rear tyres are cooking. Jordan is fixing damage for sure. Absolutely, he is fixing damage, but that's fine. He just needs to stay in the race, and he doesn't need to DNF, because points are points. That is for sure. So Ricky Tan and Spook fighting over P4 and P5. As you see, Ricky Tan just starting to struggle there. I think with his rear tyres, grabbing a G&T also. Absolutely, you should grab a G&T. That sounds like a great time. And they're both just bumping across the curb. Spook just can't find a way past. Look at this though, it's just absolutely close racing, that's for sure. Just keep an eye on the gap for Frozen Droid. 10 minutes remaining now. So if you have anything left in your tyres at all, you need to start using them now. The time for time management is over. It is time to push for all your glory. You have probably 5 laps, if that, to go. 4 laps maybe before the end of the race. You need to start now making your moves and making them count, or defending your positions. You see Twin Flow is just 1.2 seconds behind Frozen Droid, who is 7/10 behind David Kruger. I think Frozen Droid might find this a frustrating race, looking at the back of that BMW, just not knowing how he can get past. He's probably going to put it down to the ballast as well. The ballast weight isn't going to be helping these gentlemen here this evening, but they are doing a fine job in hauling it around. As we see Ricky now just holding off Spook as they go through here. So Spook isn't close enough to mount an attack this time, so Ricky just needs to re-engage into his race. Now 4.2 seconds behind, so he's definitely lost that pack here, unless they start fighting amongst themselves. Ricky Tan is going to be lucky to catch back up with these guys. As we see Twin Flow now 7/10 behind Frozen Droid. What we got here, we've got Schmidt and the coolest guy actually, so let's have a watch with these for a little bit. If box is for pitting, is there a term for going for it? Full send? Isn't it hammer time? Isn't that what it uses in Formula 1? If you're a Hamilton fan, it is. But yeah, we're just watching Schmidt now on the coolest guy, Mason, over 8th and 9th place here. They are very, very close together. They just get the car to look at this. Schmidt gets the car turned in a little bit nicely. He's up the gearbox of Mason here. Can he get through here? I'm just trying to keep an eye on everything. Mode push. Yeah, mode push. That is true. Engine mode 4 or whatever they say. So Ricky Tan is still holding off Spook here. But we see Schmidt now trying to line up a move on Mason as they go through the first right-hander. The KRT Audi sounding fantastic on full chat. Is he going to lift through here? He probably has been lifting all through practice. But so is Schmidt. I saw a yellow flag briefly. Yellow flag in sector 2. Is that for Jordan again? Oh, we see Schmidt running wide at the hairpin. So Schmidt has thrown it away in the braking zone again at the hairpin here. So he doesn't get the car slowed down enough. Slides off, but he carries on. Lovely. I think that might be a Jordan. It is Jordan again, falling off the track. But now look at this. Twin flow right up behind the gearbox of Frozen Droid. So Twin flow now making a push on Frozen. And Frozen's dropped back dramatically from Kruger. Kruger now 1.5 seconds up the road. This is going to be the battle for P2 and P3 here. As we see the full wonton going full wonton through the left-hander there at the far end of the lap. Can Twin Flow do anything about Frozen Droid? Has Frozen Droid chewed and munched all of his tyres? 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Let's see what we got. So we've got Ricky Tan still defending from the mighty Spook. 2 tenths behind him. We will cut back to those if anything happens. Twin is a tyre doctor. He is indeed. We see Frozen Droid there going for the cutback. But look at Twin Flow. A little bit sliding on the throttle application there. So rear tyres are hurting. I think I saw Ricky Tan and Spook having at it. But they are just as close as they always have been. Which is fine. So yeah, we just keep an eye on this bit. It's really hard to judge these corners when you don't have viability, not much in the way of visual reference and tracks. Yeah, absolutely. The track, there is not a lot of sort of furniture. It's sort of like in the middle of nowhere. We've got a penalty for Ricky Tan here. Ricky Tan has received a penalty, potentially for cutting the circuit too many times. We did up the penalty limit here. So Ricky Tan with a penalty, that is going to drop him down behind Spook at the end of the race. That is a real shame for Ricky Tan. With 5 minutes to go to the end of the race, Rich receives a penalty. Twin Flow is still on the back. Is that a time penalty? So if it might be a drive-through penalty, but if you don't serve it, so if the race finishes before you have to serve it, it will just convert into a time penalty. Spook made the move. Spook did make the move. Is that Ricky Tan? Ricky Tan's got to serve his penalty. No, Ricky Tan's got to serve his penalty. He knows he has to serve his drive-through penalty. So Ricky Tan deciding to serve his drive-through penalty. So he's going through the pits. Can he get out in front of Jack? So he can't. So Jack is going to take P5 away from Ricky Tan. So Jack goes through up into P5. Ricky Tan now drops into P6. He's going to be gutted with that. So Ricky Tan serves his penalty, goes through English 52. Where is he? He's at the end of the lap, so he's not going to hold him. So Ricky Tan now down into P6. Jack up into P5. 4 minutes to go. Ricky Tan is going to be devastated with that. That is an absolute shame from Ricky Tan. And we absolutely cranked the numbers on the track limits here, so he must have blasted through a lot of those here at Assen. I wouldn't be surprised if a few guys are right on the limit of these track limits as well. So we are riding with Twin Flow here, who launched an attack on Frozen Droid, but that seems to have come to nothing. Yeah, that is pretty wild. Absolutely, yeah. Unfortunately, Ricky Tan served his penalty though. He did what he needed to do. now down into P6. That is a real shame. So we have David Kruger, Frozen Droid, Twin Flow, 1, 2 and 3, all within 2.3 seconds, sorry, of each other. Yeah, it is an unforgiving track for limits. Unfortunately, it is indeed. But, you know, like we said in the briefing, if we've upped the limit to 20 points, normally we only have like 7 or 6. So we upped it to 20. If you're getting 20 points, like if you're getting to 15 points, you need to start considering what you're doing and making changes to your driving style in the race. Yeah, we have 20 points on for this race at the moment. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So there was a lot of fair warning into that one, unfortunately. So Ricky Tan is the first to fall foul of the track limits here at Assen. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. I would say that we'll be this lap and one more lap. Frozen Droid now made Ricky Tan know he needs to catch them all. Maybe, yeah, but Ricky Tan doesn't get to change tyres, so he's still on old tyres. He's 5.7 behind Jack now. So, and he's got 2 minutes to catch that gap. I don't think he's going to make it, unfortunately. But I think we've got this lap and potentially the next lap. It all depends. They're doing 1 minute 40 laps. So if he passes the lap before 40, 1 minute 40 to go, then this will be our final lap. So is it 40? Yeah, so it's Frozen now. So he crosses the line now, 42. So actually we could get an extra lap out of this if we are lucky. So Kruger needs to play this smart actually. So if Kruger slows down Frozen Droid enough to 0-0-0, then the race finishes. But if he crosses the line with even a couple of seconds to go, they have to do an extra lap. So we see Frozen Droid now mounting a hard attack on Kruger, knowing that this is his last. Is there an average lap time from the start of the race and a current average lap time? No, but I can see the best lap time and the last lap time. We do get that information at the end of the race. So we do have loads of data that goes to the drivers at the end of the race from the server. But we don't get that live. So I can tell you David Kruger's fastest lap is a 38.2 and his last lap was a 140.2. Whereas Frozen Droid did a 139.1. So Frozen Droid was nearly a second quicker on that last lap than David Kruger. So Ricky Tan is closing that gap down to Jack, 4.6 seconds, but it's not going to be enough. 32 seconds to go. Kruger cannot really afford to slow down here. He needs to give this everything. So yeah, there's 19 seconds to go. I wonder if he's watching the clock or not. A second faster isn't going to help if you can't pass. No, absolutely not. 10 seconds to go. 9, 8. Is he going to cross the line before the timer goes? He is. He's got to cross the line now. 2 seconds. So they've got to have another lap here. We've got one more lap. This is the final lap. 0 minutes remaining. Kruger could have ended the race there if he just held up Frozen Droid by about 3 seconds that lap, but he didn't do so. So he has to defend for one more flying lap. Frozen Droid looking to go around the outside. Now switching to the inside. Is he going to look back to the outside? He's all over the back of David Kruger here. Kruger defending for what it's worth. Frozen Droid goes for the move up the inside, down the exit, but that BMW is fast. So Kruger is going to be on the right-hand side for the fly-through here. Kruger must have let off thinking it was done. I don't think he did. I think Kruger tried to just keep his pace. He could have held up Frozen Droid through this section where you can't really pass to get the timer done. But Kruger now just gaps out Frozen Droid. There's just no way past down that back straight here as Kruger continues on his way. That second evaporated absolutely. Ricky Tan now 3.6 behind Jack. Timer is on 0. They crossed the line with 2 seconds. Was it 2 seconds or 3 seconds to go? But look at this. Frozen Droid run out of fuel. Frozen Droid's out of fuel. Unbelievable. I think Frozen Droid's run out of fuel. He has. No. Frozen Droid out of fuel. Is he going to coast to the line? Frozen Droid pulls off the lap. I'm going to have to jump on board with this man. But Frozen Droid out of fuel. He's done this at Imola. He's done it at Assen. Oh no, that extra lap has absolutely killed him. David Kruger crosses the line to win at Assen. Twin Flow here. He's got to come through into second place. What a fine race from Twin Flow, and Spook onto the podium. We're going to have a wonton podium. Spook through up into third place. Jack into P4. If Ricky Tan could have only held it. If only Ricky Tan didn't get that penalty. So Jack into P4. Ricky Tan just behind him crosses into P5. Frozen Droid, absolute heartbreak into the pits. English 52 is going to cross into 7th place. Oh, that is absolute heartbreak from Frozen Droid. 1 lap extra has cost him everything. That was either a masterstroke from David Kruger to go that extra lap. I mean, there's no way he could have known. But look at this. English is slowing as well. English into the final chicane. So English now crosses up into 6th place. Mason into 7th place. Schmidt is up into 8th. So Frozen Droid is going to finish a DNF into 9th place. That is a real big shame for Frozen Droid, as we see his teammate Mr. Schmidt crossing the line into 8th place. Terabyte holding macaroni, bad luck for Frozen on your home turf. Really enjoy race on an interesting track designed for motorbikes. As ever, great commentary and first class race management. Ken, see you at the next race. Thank you very much, Terabyte. Wonderful to see you here. I'm dead happy. What a wonton P2 and P3. What a twist. Absolutely wonton P2 and P3. What a fantastic twist. But this man here, David Kruger, wins the race here at the GSMC at Assen. What a twist to the end of the race. Frozen Droid will be absolutely gutted, and I am gutted for him at his home turf. Wow. So let us actually quickly run to our schedule. We have one more race to go here at the GSMC, and our schedule isn't even working, which is nice. So something really isn't happening here. Hang on, let me refresh this quickly. See if we can get our schedule to work. Oh no, that's got even worse. Oh well, okay. So I'm gonna have to just manually tell you our schedule quickly. So we are at our next race, which is at Bathurst, which is on the 15th of October. So we have a GSME race next week. We have a gap week with no racing, and then we'll be back with our finale on the 15th of October at Bathurst. It is our 1 hour endurance race here at the GSMC. It is worth 2 times the amount of points. There will be pit stops. There could be potentially weather. There might be rain. Could be a bit of fog. Who knows? Tune in. It's our mix and match turf race here. First time we've run the mountain as well at Bathurst. Absolutely the mountain. So anyway, thank you very much for joining us here at the GSMC. We will see you next time. Goodbye.